Picture this: the world is cloaked in the quiet gray of dawn, a fog so thick it obscures everything beyond your reach. You stand at the edge of your life, uncertain, unable to see the path ahead. But there, cutting through the haze, is a lighthouse, its beam steady, unyielding, a promise of direction. This is your morning, your moment to awaken to purpose. Every day, as the sun breaches the horizon, you are given a choice to drift in the fog of distraction or to anchor yourself in the light of intention. Mornings are not just the start of a day, they are the foundation of your success, the forge where your future is shaped. You hold the power to transform these fleeting hours into a force that draws triumph to you like a magnet. Will you seize it in this journey of do this every morning to attract success? We begin by understanding the raw, untapped potential of your first waking moments. Let's step into the light together and uncover how to awaken to purpose, to build a life that doesn't just happen, but one you create with every sunrise. Imagine yourself waking to the shrill cry of your alarm, the weight of another day pressing down before your eyes even open. You reach for your phone, not with intent, but with a numb reflex. The screen glows, a siren pulling you into an endless scroll, mindless updates, fleeting videos, a parade of lives that aren't yours. Minutes bleed into an hour, and before you know it, the morning is gone. You're still in bed, still lost, while the world outside moves forward without you. Opportunities slip through your fingers like sand, chances to connect, to create, to grow. This isn't just a bad habit, it's a silent thief, stealing the very hours meant to build your empire. You feel it, don't you? That ache of knowing you're meant for more, but the fog of distraction keeps you tethered to nowhere. Now, let's shift the scene. What if, one morning, you paused? What if, instead of surrendering to the pull of the screen, you stood up, breathed deep, and looked out the window at the first light of day? Picture that lighthouse in your mind, its beam slicing through the haze of doubt and delay. You realize that this moment, this morning, is yours to claim. You set the phone aside, grab a notebook, and write one thought: today, I begin. That simple act, that choice, becomes your anchor. The fog lifts, and suddenly, you see the path. Opportunities don't pass you by, they wait for you to meet them. This is the lesson of the lost wanderer. Mornings are your compass. When you awaken with purpose, you don't just start the day, you steer it. The lighthouse of intention shows you the way, guiding you past the rocks of distraction to the open sea of success. Claim your mornings and you claim your destiny. Now let's turn to another soul, an aspiring writer named Maya, whose mornings are a battlefield of doubt. Each day, she wakes with a story burning in her chest, a novel that could change her world. But as the first light creeps through her window, fear takes hold. I'm not good enough, she whispers to herself. What if no one reads it? Instead of picking up her pen, she lingers in bed, paralyzed, watching the hours slip away. She distracts herself with chores, with noise, with anything but the work that calls to her. Day after day, her dream fades a little more. Buried under the weight of hesitation, her mornings, meant to be the cradle of creation, become a graveyard of what could have been. Can you feel her pain? Have you too? Let doubt steal your dawn. But one morning, Maya decides she's had enough. She imagines a lighthouse in her mind, its beam cutting through the fog of her fears. She doesn't wait to feel ready. She acts, rising before the world stirs. She sits at her desk, trembling but resolute. She writes one sentence, then another. The words are clumsy at first, but they flow. The morning becomes her sanctuary, a time when doubt has no power. Each day, she returns to this ritual, and slowly, her pages multiply. Her dream, once fading, grows vivid again. The lighthouse of purpose guides her through the murk of insecurity, showing her that success isn't about perfection, it's about showing up. Maya learns what you must embrace. Your mornings are sacred ground. Use them to build, to create, to step toward your vision, and success will be drawn to you. The takeaway is clear: awaken to purpose, and your dawn becomes your victory. Let's pause and consider this truth. Your morning is the seed from which your entire day grows. Think of it as the first stroke of a painter's brush on a blank canvas. What you choose to paint in those early hours sets the tone for everything that follows. Why do so many of us squander this gift? How often have you let the fog of routine or fear obscure the light of possibility? Mornings are not just time, they are power. They are the quiet before the storm of the day. The moment when the world is still, and you can hear your own heartbeat, your own purpose, like a lighthouse piercing the fog. Your first decisions, whether to rise with intention or drift in distraction, determine whether you sail toward success or remain adrift. This isn't mere poetry, it's a law of life. The most accomplished among us, thinkers, builders, creators, understand that the dawn is their forge. They don't wait for inspiration to strike, they strike first, shaping their mornings into stepping stones. You too have this power. Your first hour is a crucible, a place to temper your will against the challenges ahead. It's not about grand gestures, it's about small, deliberate choices. A glass of water to awaken your body, a moment of silence to center your mind, a single goal written down to anchor your focus. These acts, done consistently, become the beam of your lighthouse, cutting through the haze of doubt and delay. So ask yourself, what are you building in your mornings? Are you crafting a foundation for success, or are you letting the fog swallow your potential? The choice is yours, and it begins the moment you open your eyes. Let's dive deeper. Picture your life as a vast ocean, each day a new wave crashing against your shore. Without an anchor, you're tossed about, at the mercy of every current, distractions, fears, the endless pull of the mundane. But your morning, when wielded with purpose, becomes that anchor. It steadies you, holds you firm, no matter how fierce the storm. Like a lighthouse standing resolute against the darkest night, your morning ritual can be the one constant that guides you back to your true north. Why do we so often forget this? How many times have you let the chaos of life pull you away from the quiet strength of dawn? Consider the nature of a lighthouse. It doesn't chase the ships. It stands still, unwavering, its light a beacon for those who seek it. Your mornings are no different. They don't need to be loud or dramatic. They need only be steady. A few minutes of reflection, a clear intention set, a small step taken. These are the beams of light that pierce the fog of uncertainty. When you awaken to purpose, you don't just react to the day, you shape it. You become the captain of your vessel, not a passenger. Success isn't a distant shore you hope to stumble upon. It's a destination you chart with every morning's resolve. So, look within. What anchor can you set each dawn to keep you grounded? How will you ensure that, no matter the tempest, your light never dims? Remember, the fog may come, but your purpose, born in the quiet of morning, will always guide you home. Now, let's turn insight into action. You've felt the weight of wasted mornings, seen the power of purpose through stories and reflection. Here's how you begin to transform your dawn into a force for success. First, rise with intention. Set your alarm for a time that gives you space, 30 minutes before the rush of life begins. When it sounds, don't hesitate. Stand up, move. Let your body know this is not a day to drift. Next, shield your mind from the fog of distraction. For the first hour, avoid your phone, emails, the noise of the world. This is your time, sacred and untouchable. Instead, pour a glass of water, hydrate your body, and awaken your senses. Then, set your lighthouse. Take a notebook or a scrap of paper and write down one purpose for the day. It doesn't have to be monumental. Perhaps it's finish one task I've delayed, or speak one kind word to someone. This act of writing anchors you. It's your beam of light cutting through the haze. Finally, take one small step toward that purpose before the world demands your attention. If you're a creator, write one sentence. If you're a dreamer, visualize one goal. This step, however small, is your declaration I am awake to purpose. Do this every morning and watch how success begins to gravitate toward you. The fog will lift and your path will become clear. You're not just starting the day, you're building your future, one dawn at a time. Let's add another layer to your morning transformation. Beyond the basics, Craft a ritual that speaks to your soul, a practice that becomes your lighthouse even on the darkest days. Start with silence. Sit for 5 minutes, no music, no noise, just you and your breath. Let your thoughts settle like sediment in still water. This isn't about emptying your mind, it's about listening to it. What calls to you in this quiet? What purpose stirs beneath the surface after this? Move your body. It doesn't have to be a grueling workout. Stretch, walk, or simply stand tall and feel your strength. Movement awakens your spirit, reminding you that you're alive, capable, ready. Then, feed your mind with something that fuels your vision. Read a page from a book that inspires you. Listen to a podcast that challenges you. Or reflect on a quote that ignites your fire. Make this a non-negotiable part of your morning, a brick in the foundation of your day. Finally, speak your intention aloud. Stand in front of a mirror if you must. Look yourself in the eye and say, "Today, I choose purpose. Today, I move forward." Hearing your own voice seals the commitment. This ritual, silence, movement, inspiration, declaration is your lighthouse. It doesn't take hours, it takes minutes. But those minutes compound, day by day, into a life of success. Start tomorrow, awaken to purpose, and let the world see what you're capable of. As we close this first step in our journey of do this every morning to attract success, let's anchor ourselves in the truth we've uncovered. Mornings are not mere beginnings. They are the bedrock of your triumph. Whether you felt the aimless drift of distraction or the paralyzing grip of doubt, you now see the power of awakening to purpose. Like a lighthouse piercing the fog, your first hours can cut through the haze of uncertainty, guiding you toward the life you're meant to live. You've walked with the lost wanderer and the hesitant creator, witnessing how a single choice, to rise, to act, to intend, can transform a fleeting dawn into a force of destiny. The takeaway is undeniable when you awaken to purpose. You don't just start your day, you summon success to your side. This is only the beginning. As we move forward, we'll build on this foundation, exploring the specific actions and mindsets that turn mornings into magnets for achievement. For now, hold fast to this vision. See yourself standing tall each dawn, your inner lighthouse blazing, undimmed by fear or delay. Let every morning be a promise to yourself, a vow that you will not drift, but direct. Speak this truth into existence. Let it echo in your soul as you prepare for what's next. Awaken to purpose. Your light will guide you to success. Picture a river at dawn, its surface still, its depths restless. Beneath the calm, a current churns, carving through stone, bending around obstacles, relentless in its quest to shape its own path. That river is you, or it could be. Every morning, you stand at the edge of your day, deciding whether to flow with purpose or stagnate in the shallows of complacency. Why do so many of us choose to stand still? Why do we let inertia bind us when the power to move forward is already within? In this journey of do this every morning to attract success, we confront a silent saboteur, the pull of complacency that drags your mornings into mediocrity. This section, Break the Chains of Inertia, is your call to action. It's time to shatter the weight of later, to reject the snooze button siren song, and to forge a morning that propels you toward triumph. You are not a puddle to be stepped over. You are a river, unstoppable when you choose to flow. Let's dive into the struggle, the lessons, and the steps to reclaim your dawn. Imagine this: you're a driven professional, a rising star in your field. Your alarm blares at 600 a.m., sharp and insistent, a summons to seize the day. But your body protests. 5 more minutes, you mutter, hitting snooze. 5 turns to 10, then 20. The bed is a swamp, pulling you deeper into its mire. By the time you stumble out, it's 7:30. You rush through a shower, skip breakfast, and race to the office. Heart pounding, not from ambition, but from panic. You arrive late, papers scattered, apologies stammered. While your colleagues exchange knowing glances, your credibility erodes. Not because you lack talent, but because you let inertia steal your morning. The presentation you could have polished sloppy. The confidence you could have carried shattered. Each snooze was a brick in a wall of regret, blocking the path to your potential. But let's rewind. What if, on that same morning, you had risen with the first alarm? What if you had breathed deep, felt the current of purpose stirring within, and moved like a river cutting through stone? You'd have arrived early, composed, a force to be reckoned with. The lesson here is clear. Complacency in the morning is a chain, and every snooze tightens its grip. Like a river, you must push past the initial resistance. The first step is the hardest, but it sets the course. Break free, and you'll find that success isn't waiting at some distant shore. It's in the momentum you build with each disciplined dawn. This is the essence of our takeaway. Mastering your mornings by rejecting inertia is the foundation of attracting success. Now, picture yourself as a fitness enthusiast, someone who once vowed to transform their body and mind. Your plan is solid: a 5:30 a.m. workout to kickstart the day. The weights are ready, your playlist is cued, and your goals, stronger muscles, sharper focus, burn bright in your mind. But last night, you started a new series. Just one episode, you told yourself. Midnight came, and you were still glued to the screen. Now, as the alarm screams, exhaustion whispers, "Skip it, rest, you'll train tomorrow." You silence the alarm, roll over, and let the morning slip away. Days turn to weeks, and your gym gear gathers dust. The body you dreamed of sculpting remains a sketch, and your self-respect takes the hardest hit. Inertia didn't just steal an hour, it stole your progress. Yet, imagine the alternative. What if you had shut off the screen, honored your rest, and risen with the dawn? What if you had laced up your shoes and felt the sweat carve new strength into your frame? Like a river, your consistent flow would have shaped a path no obstacle could block. The lesson echoes through this struggle. Complacency is a thief, and mornings are its favorite target. To attract success, you must guard your dawn with ferocity, break the chains of tomorrow, and let each morning be a current that carries you closer to your vision. This ties directly to our takeaway. Overcoming inertia is not just a choice, it's the cornerstone of a successful life. Pause for a moment. Look within. How often have you let the quiet comfort of inaction anchor you to a life of what could have been? Complacency is not a loud enemy. It's a soft, insidious weight, settling over your mornings like fog over a river. It dulls your edges, slows your current, and tricks you into believing that staying still is safe. But a river that refuses to flow becomes a swamp, stagnant, lifeless, forgotten. You are not meant for stillness. You are meant to carve, to shape, to transform. Every morning you choose inertia over action. You bury a piece of your potential beneath layers of excuse. Why do we trade the thrill of progress for the hollow ease of delay? Why do we fear the first cold step into the current of a new day? Consider this: inertia is not your nature. It's a habit you forged, like a riverbed worn smooth by years of neglect. Your mornings have become a rut, but habits can be broken, paths can be redirected. The river doesn't ask permission to cut through stone. It simply moves, persistent and unyielding. So must you. Success isn't a gift dropped into your lap. It's a landscape you shape with every disciplined choice. When complacency tugs at your resolve, remember that the hardest push creates the strongest current. Your morning is your chisel. Use it to sculpt a life of purpose, or watch as inertia carves you into something lesser. Think about the last time you felt truly alive. Was it in a moment of rest, or in the surge of action after breaking through doubt? Mornings are your battlefield, and complacency is the shadow that looms over your first step. It whispers that you're not ready, that you're too tired, that tomorrow will be better. But here's the truth: tomorrow is a mirage if today is squandered. A river doesn't wait for the perfect conditions to flow. It surges through rain, through drought, through jagged rock, because movement is its essence. So why do you hesitate at the edge of your day? What invisible chain holds you back from the life you crave? Pain is not your enemy, it's your signal. The ache of rising early, the sting of discipline, they are the river's friction against stone, proof that you're shaping something greater. Complacency offers comfort, but it's a cage. Success, on the other hand, demands that you embrace the discomfort of the first move, that first step out of bed, that refusal to hit snooze, that choice to act when every fiber screams to stall. It's the spark that ignites your day, like a river gathering force. Your momentum builds with each small victory. Break the chains of inertia, and you'll find that success isn't a destination. It's the current you ride when you dare to begin. Let's get practical. Complacency thrives in the haze of an unclaimed morning, but you can wrest control with deliberate steps. Start tonight. Set your alarm across the room. Force yourself to stand the moment it rings. As your feet hit the floor, take 3 deep breaths and say aloud, I shape my path today. This isn't just a mantra, it's a command to your mind. Next, have a single, non-negotiable action: waiting a glass of water, a quick stretch, or a 1-minute journal entry of your day's intent. This anchors you before inertia can creep in. When the urge to delay strikes, pause. Ask yourself, am I trading my future for 5 more minutes of nothing? The answer will sting, but it will also propel you forward. Consistency is your weapon. Track your mornings for 1 week. Note when you rise, what you do, and how you feel. You'll see the pattern. Action breeds energy, while delay breeds regret. If you falter, don't spiral. Reset with the next dawn. A river doesn't stop because of a single dam. It finds a way. So can you. Reclaim your mornings, and you'll reclaim the trajectory of your success. Here's another tool to shatter inertia. Design a morning ritual that pulls you into motion. Complacency loves ambiguity, so strip it of power with clarity. Choose 3 actions to complete within the first hour of waking. Make them simple but meaningful. For example, hydrate with a full glass of water, move your body with a 5-minute walk or stretch, and focus your mind by writing down 1 goal for the day. Tie these to a trigger, like brushing your teeth, so they become automatic. When you falter, don't negotiate. Tell yourself, I don't feel like it, but I do it anyway. Feelings fade, actions endure. Prepare the night before. Lay out clothes, set up your workspace. Eliminate decisions that sap your will at dawn. If distraction, like late-night scrolling, derails you, set a hard cutoff time for screens. Protect your rest, because a tired mind is complacency's playground. Finally, visualize your morning win before sleep. See yourself rising, moving, succeeding. A river knows its course before it flows. Build this current and watch how each morning becomes a step toward the success you're meant to attract. As we close this chapter on Break the Chains of Inertia, let the truth sink deep. Your mornings are the foundation of your destiny. Complacency is a subtle thief, stealing your potential 1 snooze, 1 excuse, 1 tomorrow at a time. But you've seen the cost through the professional who lost credibility and the fitness enthusiast who lost momentum. You've felt the weight of stillness and the power of the first move through reflections that mirror your own struggles. And you've armed yourself with steps to reclaim your dawn and build a current of action. The takeaway stands unyielding. Mastering your mornings by rejecting inertia is the bedrock of attracting success. You are a river, not a stagnant pool. Your path is yours to carve, starting with the first light of day. As we move forward in this journey, hold tight to the momentum you've ignited. The next section will build on this, guiding you to channel your mornings into unshakable habits of triumph. For now, let this truth guide you. Flow relentless. Your path is yours to shape. Picture this: the dawn breaks, a faint glow spilling over the horizon, and there you stand, hammer in hand, before a glowing forge. The air hums with raw potential, the heat of molten iron searing your resolve. This is no ordinary morning. It's your crucible, your moment to shape the day before the world dares to shape you. Every strike of your hammer against the hot iron is a choice, a declaration that you will forge success from the raw chaos of life. This is the essence of your morning ritual, the sacred act of crafting intention before the noise of the day drowns out your purpose. In this journey to attract success, we've explored the mindset and the vision. Now, in Forge Your Morning Ritual, we dive into the heart of action, how a deliberate, powerful start to your day becomes the anvil on which your dreams are hammered into reality. You are the blacksmith of your destiny, and each morning is your chance to strike with precision, to mold your focus, to temper your will. Are you ready to wield the heat of discipline? Can you commit to shaping your day before it shapes you? Let's step into the forge together and craft a morning practice that draws success to you like iron to a magnet. Meet Elena, A woman with a vision as vast as a mountain range, yet burdened by the weight of endless tasks. She runs a small bakery, her dream since childhood, but every day feels like a storm threatening to sweep her away. Orders pile up, suppliers delay, and customers demand more than she can give. Mornings once held promise, but now they're a frantic rush, grabbing coffee, scrolling through emails, reacting before she can even think. Her dream feels like it's slipping through her fingers, a fragile thread fraying with every chaotic dawn. One day, Elena hits a breaking point. A big order falls through, and she's left staring at an empty shop, her heart heavy with doubt. That night, she resolves to reclaim her mornings, not as a battleground, but as a forge. She decides to dedicate the first 5 minutes of each day to visualization, a sacred space to see her goals before the world intrudes. The next morning, she sits in silence, the scent of fresh dough lingering in the air, and closes her eyes. She pictures her bakery thriving, customers laughing, shelves brimming with golden loaves, her team working in harmony. She feels the warmth of success, the weight of her dream made real. Those 5 minutes become her hammer-striking hot iron, shaping her focus before the day can bend her will. Over weeks, Elena notices a shift. That brief visualization anchors her. When chaos strikes, an oven breaks, a delivery lags, she doesn't spiral. She recalls that morning vision, her inner forge glowing, and responds with clarity. Her decisions sharpen, her energy steadies, and slowly, her bakery begins to grow. Customers return, drawn by her renewed passion. Elena learns that success isn't just in the doing, it's in the seeing, in forging the day's purpose before the first spark flies. Like a blacksmith, she strikes with intention, and the iron of her reality bends to her will. What could 5 minutes of vision do for you? How might seeing your success each morning reshape the battles you face? Now imagine Arjun, a young student standing at the edge of a vast academic wilderness. Exams loom like jagged peaks, and every day feels like a scramble to keep up. Mornings are his weakest point, oversleeping, skipping breakfast, rushing to class with half-read notes and a mind clouded by panic. Self-doubt creeps in, whispering that he's not enough, that he'll never master the material. His grades slip, and with them, his confidence erodes like sand in a river's current. But Arjun refuses to drown. Inspired by a mentor's advice, he decides to reclaim his mornings as a time to build, not break. He commits his first hour to reviewing notes, turning those early moments into a ritual of preparation. The next day, he rises before the sun, sits at his desk with a steaming cup of tea, and opens his books. That hour isn't just study, it's a forging. Each concept he revisits a strike of the hammer, strengthening his mind for the day ahead. He underlines key points, whispers them aloud, and feels the fog of doubt lift. This isn't mere repetition, it's tempering his resolve, crafting a foundation no exam can shake. Weeks pass, and Arjun transforms. That morning hour becomes his anvil, where he shapes confidence from raw uncertainty. When tests come, he walks in steady, not scrambling. He recalls those quiet mornings, the iron of his knowledge hardened by discipline, and answers flow, his grades climb. But more than that, his belief in himself solidifies. Arjun learns that success isn't a distant summit. It's built in the quiet strikes of morning, in the choice to prepare before the battle begins. Like a blacksmith, he shapes his day with deliberate blows, and the world bends to his craft. What could one focused hour do for your foundation? How might you forge unshakable strength before the day demands your all? Step back for a moment and consider the power of your morning. It's not just a time, it's a forge, a sacred space where the raw iron of your potential waits to be struck. Before the world intrudes with its noise, its demands, its distractions, you have a fleeting window to shape the day. Think of the blacksmith, standing before molten metal, knowing that every blow must count. There's no room for hesitation, no space for doubt. Each strike is a decision, a commitment to craft something enduring. So it is with your morning ritual. You don't just wake up, you wield intention, hammering out clarity from the chaos of sleep. Why do so many falter here? Why do we let mornings slip into mindless routine, scrolling screens or rushing out the door, when they could be our greatest ally? Perhaps it's because we fear the heat, the discipline it takes to stand at the forge before the day begins. But understand this success is not a gift dropped at your feet. It's a blade you must shape, edge by edge, morning by morning. The 5 minutes of visualization, the hour of preparation, these are not burdens. They are your tools, your fire, your chance to mold the day before it molds you. Pain is not your enemy in these early hours. It's the heat that tempers your will. Embrace it. Strike hard. What are you forging in your first moments? Are you crafting a day of purpose, or letting the iron cool to useless slag? Listen to the rhythm of a blacksmith at work, steady, relentless, each strike building on the last. There's a poetry in that cadence, a truth that echoes in the way we build success. Your morning ritual is that rhythm, the heartbeat of your day, setting the pace for every step that follows. It's not about grand gestures or overnight miracles. It's about the quiet, consistent blows, the choice to rise, to focus, to act before the world pulls you astray. Like a river carving through stone, it's the steady flow of intention that shapes mountains over time. Have you ever noticed how the first hour sets the tone for all that follows? Stumble out of bed, react to every ping and plea, and the day becomes a storm you can't control. But carve out that sacred space, visualize, prepare, reflect, and you become the storm's master. You stand like a lighthouse in the fog, unshakable, guiding your own path. This isn't mere routine, it's alchemy. You're turning the raw ore of time into the gold of purpose. Success doesn't come from chaos, it comes from rhythm, from the hammer's steady fall. So tell me, what rhythm are you setting each dawn? Are you striking with purpose or swinging aimlessly into the void? Let's get to the forge. One of the most powerful tools to attract success is visualization, a practice as sharp as a blacksmith's hammer. Here's how to make it yours. Each morning, before the world demands your attention, carve out 5 minutes. Yes, just 5. Sit in a quiet space, your bedroom, a corner of your kitchen, anywhere the noise can't reach. Close your eyes and breathe deep. Picture your day unfolding with success. See yourself closing that deal, acing that presentation, or simply moving through challenges with calm strength. Feel the triumph, the weight of achievement in your chest. Let every detail glow like molten iron under your hammer. Don't just see, act. Write down one key image from your vision. Maybe it's shaking hands with a client or crossing a finish line. Keep that note where you'll see it during the day. When doubt creeps in, glance at it. Remember the forge of your morning, the intention you struck into being. This isn't daydreaming, it's crafting. It's shaping your mind to bend reality to your will. Start tomorrow. 5 minutes, one vision. Strike that first blow and watch how the day responds to your fire. Now let's temper your resolve with preparation. Another strike in your morning forge. Dedicate the first hour, or even 30 minutes if time is tight, to grounding yourself in what matters. If you're a student, review your notes or read a chapter. If you're chasing a goal, outline your top priority for the day. If you're building a dream, revisit your plan, your why, your next step. The key is focus. Don't multitask, don't scroll, don't react. This hour is your anvil, where you harden your purpose against the day's blows. Start small if you must. Set a timer, lay out your tools the night before, books, planners, whatever you need, so there's no excuse to delay. When that hour ends, pause. Write one sentence about what you've gained. I'm ready for this test, or I know my next move. That's your iron cooling, solidifying into strength. Do this daily, and you'll feel the shift. You're not just preparing, you're forging, you're building a day that can't break you. Begin tomorrow, 1 hour, one focus. Shape your success before the world dares to shape you. As the embers of this section cool, let's gather the lessons forged in these pages. Your morning is not a mere start, it's a crucible, a forge where success is hammered into being. Through Elena's vision and Arjun's preparation, we've seen how intentional mornings transform chaos into clarity, doubt into strength. We've reflected on the rhythm of the hammer, the heat of discipline, and the alchemy of intention. The takeaway is clear: crafting a specific, intentional morning practice is the key to attracting success. It's not about grand overhauls, it's about steady strikes, small choices, deliberate blows that shape your day before it shapes you. You have the tools now: visualization to see your path, preparation to build your foundation. The forge awaits you each dawn, glowing with possibility. Step into it. Wield your hammer with purpose. Let every morning be a testament to your will, a promise that success is not a distant dream, but a reality you craft with each strike. As we move forward, remember that this ritual is just the beginning. There are more fires to tend, more iron to shape. But for now, stand firm at your anvil and let this truth echo through your every dawn. Strike with intention. Your success is forged in the morning's fire. Picture this: beneath the quiet earth, a seed stirs. It's small, unassuming, buried under layers of darkness, yet it holds within it the promise of a towering tree. You can't see its struggle, the silent push against the soil, the relentless drive to break free toward the light, but it's there, working, day after day. That seed is you. Every morning, you have the chance to plant something powerful, something that, with consistency, will grow into the success you crave. This is not about grand gestures or overnight miracles. This is about the quiet, deliberate actions you take when the world is still asleep, when no one sees your effort but you. In this journey of attracting success, we're diving deep into the heart of consistency, planting the seeds of triumph each morning. Feel the weight of this moment. Are you ready to nurture what lies within you? Let's begin by understanding that every sunrise is your soil, every small step your water. Success isn't summoned, it's cultivated. Let's dig in. Imagine yourself as a freelancer, sitting at a worn desk in the dim light of dawn. The world outside is silent, but inside, a storm brews, doubt, bills piling up, and the endless scroll of others' polished achievements on social media. You've dreamed of writing a book, a story that burns in your chest, but the weight of starting feels like a mountain. Yet, one morning, you decide 200 words, just 200 words before the chaos of the day begins. It's not much, barely a paragraph, but you type them out, fingers trembling with uncertainty. The next day, you do it again, and the day after that. Some mornings, the words are clumsy, like a child learning to walk. Other mornings, they flow like a river after rain. You don't see the growth at first. Weeks pass, and your document is still just a scattering of thoughts. But beneath the surface, something stirs, a seed breaking through the hard earth of procrastination. Months roll by, and those 200 words each morning have become a ritual, a quiet rebellion against giving up. One day you step back and realize you've written 60,000 words, a book, a tangible living thing born from the consistency of your mornings. The doubt that once clawed at you now shrinks in the shadow of your creation. You've done it, not with a sudden burst of genius, but with the steady drip of effort, like a seed pushing through soil. Your small, daily actions cracked open the impossible. The lesson here is clear: consistency is your soil, your sunlight, your strength. Success doesn't arrive in a thunderclap, it grows in the quiet of your mornings, in the 200 words you refuse to skip. Now picture yourself as a parent, waking to the chaos of a household that never seems to pause. Mornings are a battlefield: spilled cereal, rushed goodbyes, and the gnawing feeling that you're falling short. You love your family, but the stress clouds every interaction, turning small moments into sharp edges. One day, you stumble across a simple idea: start each morning with gratitude. You're skeptical. How can a few written words change anything? But you try it, before the kids wake, before the day's demands pull you under. You sit with a notebook and write 3 things you're thankful for. At first, it feels forced. I'm grateful for coffee. I'm grateful for a roof over our heads. But you keep at it, day after day, planting this tiny seed in the soil of your routine. Weeks turn into months, and something shifts. You notice the small joys, the way your child's laughter cuts through the morning haze, the warmth of a shared glance with your partner. Your journal entries grow deeper, more honest. I'm grateful for the mess, because it means we're alive together. This daily act, so small it seemed insignificant, begins to reshape your outlook. Your family feels it too. Where there was once impatience, there's now a softer tone. Where there was frustration, there's now a pause to breathe. Over time, this morning habit transforms not just you, but the entire rhythm of your home. Like a seed that splits open to reveal a sprout. Your consistent gratitude has rooted itself into something life-changing. The takeaway burns bright. Even the smallest morning action, done with unwavering commitment, can grow into a forest of connection and peace. Let's pause and look deeper. Consistency in your mornings is not just a habit, it's a sacred act of trust in what you cannot yet see. Think of that seed beneath the earth. It doesn't know if the sun awaits above or if rain will ever come, yet it pushes upward, driven by an unseen force, a quiet faith in its own becoming. You are that seed. Every morning, and when you choose to act, whether it's writing, reflecting, or simply setting an intention, you're trusting in a future you can't yet touch. How often have you dismissed small actions as meaningless? How many times have you abandoned a routine because the results weren't instant? Understand this: the earth doesn't yield to impatience. Growth is a slow, deliberate dance between effort and time. Your mornings are the fertile ground where triumph begins. They are not glamorous, they are not always easy, but they are yours to shape. Like a river carving through stone, your consistent actions, however small, wear down the barriers between you and success. You don't need to see the full tree to know it's coming. You just need to plant, to water, to wait. Success is not a gift dropped into your lap. It's a harvest reaped from the seeds you sow each dawn. So ask yourself, what small action are you neglecting today that could bloom into tomorrow's victory? Don't wait for the perfect moment. The soil is ready now. Plant your seed. Consider this: a single morning holds more power than you might believe. It's a blank canvas, a fresh expanse of earth waiting for your mark. When you wake, you stand at a crossroads. Will you scatter your energy like dust in the wind, or will you plant something enduring? A seed doesn't debate its purpose, it simply begins. But you, with your doubts and distractions, often hesitate. Why? Because the weight of consistency feels heavy at first. It's easier to sleep in, to scroll mindlessly, to let the day sweep you away. Yet every morning you skip is a seed left unplanted, a potential growth stunted before it even starts. Think of your life as a garden. Each morning action, be it a workout, a moment of reflection, or a step toward a goal, is a seed you bury in the soil of your future. You may not see the sprout for weeks, months, or even years, but beneath the surface, roots are spreading, strength is building, consistency is your gardener's hand, tending to what others cannot see. So, ask yourself, what are you planting today? Are you sowing seeds of discipline, of gratitude, of purpose? Or are you leaving your garden barren, waiting for success to plant itself? Remember, no harvest comes without a sower. Take up your tools. Start now. Let's get practical. Success through consistency starts with a morning ritual, a set of actions so ingrained they become your foundation. First, choose one small, meaningful task tied to your larger vision. If you're a writer like our freelancer, commit to 200 words. If you seek inner peace like our parent, write 3 things you're grateful for. Keep it simple. Complexity kills momentum. Second, set a specific time, say 600 a.m., before the world pulls at you. Anchor this moment in your day. Third, prepare the night before. Lay out your notebook, charge your laptop, clear your space, remove friction so your morning flows. When doubt creeps in, and it will, pause. Remind yourself why this matters. Write down one reason your small action connects to your bigger goal. These 200 words are my book. This gratitude is my family's harmony. Keep this note where you can see it. Finally, track your streak. Mark each day you complete your ritual on a calendar. Watch the chain grow. If you miss a day, don't despair. Start again. Consistency isn't perfection, it's persistence. Like watering a seed, even a single missed day won't kill the plant if you return with care. Build this habit, brick by brick, morning by morning. Your triumph is waiting to sprout. Your mornings are sacred ground, but they're also vulnerable. Distractions, fatigue, and old habits can choke the seeds you're trying to plant. Guard your soil with intention. Start by setting boundaries. If social media steals your first hour, Put your phone in another room until your ritual is done. If exhaustion drags you down, commit to an earlier bedtime. Even 15 minutes earlier can sharpen your dawn. Create a buffer of quiet, no news, no emails, no noise until your small action is complete. Next, anticipate resistance. Your mind will whisper, skip today. It's just one day. Counter it with a mantra. One day builds my future. Say it aloud if you must. Finally, stack your habits. Pair your new morning action with something you already do. Write your gratitude list while your coffee brews, or brainstorm ideas during your morning stretch. This links the new to the familiar, making consistency feel natural. Protect your mornings as fiercely as a gardener shields tender sprouts from frost. Every distraction you block, every excuse you silence, nourishes the growth of your success. Stand firm, your harvest depends on it. As we close this chapter on planting the seeds of triumph, let's gather the wisdom we've unearthed. Consistency in your mornings is not a mere habit. It's the quiet forging of your future. Like the freelancer who built a book from 200 daily words, or the parent whose gratitude reshaped a family's heart. You've seen how small, steady actions bloom into extraordinary outcomes. The seed stirring beneath the earth doesn't rush its growth, and neither should you. Success is not a race, it's a cultivation. Each morning, you hold the power to plant something enduring, to push against the soil of doubt and break into the light of achievement. The key lesson remains: consistency transforms the smallest morning action into the mightiest triumph. As we move forward, prepare to nurture these seeds with even greater focus, to water them with discipline, and to shield them with resolve. For now, carry this truth in your heart and let it guide every sunrise. Plant today, rise tomorrow. Picture this: the first light of dawn creeps over a jagged mountain peak, casting a golden glow on the rugged terrain below. You stand at the base, a climber with a single foothold carved into the stone, your breath visible in the crisp morning air. This is no ordinary ascent. This mountain is your life, your dreams, your relentless pursuit of success. Each morning, as the world sleeps, you've returned to this spot, securing one more foothold, inching higher. Can you feel the weight of your journey? Can you sense the summit calling in this moment? As we reflect on the transformative impact of morning habits, you're not just climbing, you're ascending with every dawn. Within the grand tapestry of do this every morning to attract success, this is your story of growth, of looking back to see how far you've come, and of inspiring yourself to keep moving upward. Let the fire within you burn brighter. Let's stand together at this altitude and see what consistent mornings have built in you. Imagine yourself as an entrepreneur. 1 year ago, sitting at a cluttered desk in a dimly lit room. The world outside is still asleep, but you're awake, fueled by a vision only you can see. Each morning, before the chaos of the day begins, you've carved out sacred time, planning, strategizing, writing down goals with a trembling hand. There were days when doubt was heavier than the pen you held, when invoices piled up and clients turned away. You could have slept in, let exhaustion win, and buried your ambition under the weight of someday. But you didn't. You rose with the dawn, just as a mountain climber secures the first foothold, knowing that every small step builds the path to the peak. Fast forward to today. You stand at the head of a thriving company, a team buzzing around you. Your vision now a living, breathing reality, reflecting on those early mornings. You see it clearly. Each quiet hour was a foothold hammered into the stone of your future. The late nights of failure didn't define you. The early mornings of discipline did. You remember the first client who said yes after months of rejection, the first profit that felt like a landslide of hope. Those mornings weren't just routines, they were acts of defiance against mediocrity. Like a climber who trusts the rope even when the wind howls, you trusted your process. And now, standing at this height, you realize the lesson: success isn't a sudden gift. It's a mountain you ascend, one dawn at a time. The takeaway echoes in your bones, a truth you've lived and breathed. Now, see yourself as an artist, a soul who once doubted if their creations mattered. A year ago, your sketchbook gathered dust, your ideas trapped in the fog of self-criticism. But something shifted. You began waking with the first light, sitting at your easel as the world stirred awake. Each morning, you drew one sketch, sometimes a clumsy line, sometimes a fleeting spark of brilliance. The act felt insignificant, like a climber testing a single foothold on a vast, intimidating slope. There were mornings when your hands felt heavy, when galleries rejected your work, when you wondered if anyone would ever see your art. Yet you returned to the dawn, to the quiet where your soul could speak. Today, you hold a portfolio that tells a story of persistence. A gallery owner noticed your work, a door opened, and now your sketches, born in the stillness of countless mornings, line the walls of an exhibition. As you stand there, surrounded by admirers, you reflect on the journey. Each sketch was a step upward, each morning a commitment to your craft, like a climber who looks down to see the dizzying height they've conquered. You see how far those small, consistent efforts have carried you. The struggle wasn't the enemy, it was the forge that shaped your talent. The lesson shines as bright as the dawn itself. Your mornings built this triumph, stroke by stroke, day by day. Pause for a moment. Look inward. How many mountains have you climbed without realizing it? How often have you dismissed the power of a single morning, a single choice, as too small to matter? Let's unravel this truth. Every dawn is a new foothold on the vast mountain of your potential. Reflecting on the transformative impact of morning habits, you begin to see that success isn't a distant peak reserved for the chosen few. It's a series of small ascents, each one building on the last, until one day you turn around and gasp at the view. Your mornings are not mundane. They are the hammer and chisel shaping the stone of your destiny. Think of a river cutting through a canyon. It doesn't carve its path in a single day. It works tirelessly, drop by drop, year by year, until the impossible becomes reality. So it is with your mornings. That first hour, when the world is quiet and your mind is clear, is your river. It erodes doubt. It shapes discipline. It carves a channel for success to flow through. You might not see the progress today or tomorrow, but trust this: every morning you show up, you're moving closer to the summit. Can you feel the momentum building? Your habits are not chains, they are the ropes that pull you higher. Embrace them. Let them anchor you when the storms of life rage. For in the stillness of dawn, you are not just waking, you are ascending. Let's go deeper. Why do so many falter on their climb? Why do they abandon the mountain before they've even begun? It's not the height that defeats them. It's the illusion that progress must be instant. Reflecting on your own journey, you might recall moments when you craved quick results, when the silence of early mornings felt like a waste. But here's the hidden flame. Consistency is a fire that burns slow but fierce, like a climber who must endure the biting cold to reach the sunlit peak. Your morning habits demand patience before they reveal their power. Picture a blacksmith forging a blade. Each strike of the hammer seems futile at first. Sparks fly, but the metal resists. Yet with every blow, the shape emerges. The strength hardens. Your mornings are those strikes. They don't dazzle in the moment, but they transform you over time. When you rise before the sun to plan, to create, to reflect, you're forging the steel of your will. You're not just building a routine, you're building yourself. So ask yourself, are you willing to endure the slow burn for the sake of the masterpiece? The answer lies in your next dawn. Show up, strike the hammer, ascend. Now, let's ground this inspiration in action. Reflecting on the transformative impact of morning habits means nothing if you don't apply it. So, here's how to secure your first foothold each day. Start simple. Dedicate the first 30 minutes of your morning to one intentional act. It could be writing a single goal, sketching a single idea, or meditating on a single vision. Don't overwhelm yourself with a dozen tasks. Choose one and commit to it fully. Like a climber testing the stability of a foothold before trusting their weight to it. Build trust in your process by mastering this small step. Next, protect this time fiercely. Turn off notifications, set boundaries, and let nothing steal these sacred minutes. When doubt creeps in, and it will, pause, breathe, remind yourself why you started. Write down one reason to keep going, and let it be your anchor. Finally, reflect weekly. Look back at what these mornings have built. Have you moved an inch closer to your summit? Celebrate that inch. It's proof of your ascent. These steps aren't revolutionary, they're foundational. They're the footholds that turn a daunting mountain into a conquerable climb. Begin tomorrow. Rise with purpose. Here's another tool to keep you climbing. As you reflect on your morning habits, track your growth with intention. Each week, set aside 5 minutes to journal about your mornings. Ask, what did I accomplish in these early hours? How did they shape my day? Write down one win, no matter how small. Maybe you finished a task, gained clarity, or simply showed up when you wanted to quit. Like a climber marking their progress on a map, these notes will show you the altitude you've gained over time. Then adjust. If a morning habit isn't serving you, don't cling to it out of guilt. Experiment. Shift your focus, maybe from reading to walking, from planning to creating. The key is to keep the dawn sacred, a space for growth, not rigidity. When you feel stuck, return to your journal. Let it remind you of the ground you've covered. Success isn't a sprint, it's a steady ascent. Measure it, honor it, keep climbing with every dawn. As we stand together on this ledge, looking back at the path you've carved, let the truth of this section settle into your soul. Reflecting on the transformative impact of morning habits reveals a profound power. Each dawn is a chance to ascend, to secure one more foothold on the mountain of your dreams. The entrepreneur who built a company from quiet plans, the artist who painted their future in the light of early hours, they are mirrors of what you can achieve. Their stories, woven with the philosophy of persistence and the practicality of small steps. Point 2. You've seen how mornings shape destinies, how they turn whispers of ambition into roars of success. Now, carry this fire forward. Let it light your path as we prepare to explore the next ridge in our journey to attract success. Repeat this to yourself as the sun rises tomorrow. As you plant your first foothold of the day, ascend with every dawn. Your summit awaits.